Hey there, fencing contractors. My name is Jason. In this video, we are going to talking about different ways to get leads for your business. And one thing I just kind of want to point out, you may be getting leads right now and killing it from one particular source, but I want you to kind of look at your business like a bicycle wheel with a bunch of different spokes on it. If you have 10 different spokes on it, that wheel is strong. If one breaks, the whole thing's not going to collapse. Now, basically, just pretend those spokes are different lead streams. And let's just say you've got one real strong one and you don't have anything else. That wheel's already kind of iffy, but let's say Google changes their algorithm and you fall in the rankings, then that whole business can collapse overnight and put you in a very, very bad spot. So you want to have many different types of leads flowing into your business so that does not happen to you. Now, there's two types of categories that I'm going to break these leads in, leads now and leads later. The main one I'm going to talk about in this video is leads now in its Facebook ads, okay? So that's the first one. The leads later category is Google My Business or Google Business Profile, whatever you want to call it. This takes time, effort, and most likely money to get your business in here if you're not in here already. But once you show up in here and you start showing up for other search terms with a map pack, this can move the needle in your business. I call it the Holy Grail for local marketing. This will make your phone ring, especially if you are in a bigger city and you do find your way in there. Now, the second place to get leads later is through Google search engine down here. This is the organic portion of it. This is the top 10 listings. And you're not going to get as many calls as you do up here, but you still are going to get calls. And if you're getting 10, 15 calls a month and you're in a fencing company and you're down here, that could lead to thousands upon thousands of dollars of business, depending on how good you are at sales, quotes and different things, and just base the proof that you have that the company, the work you've done to be able to sell your work, okay? The third way to get leads later is through creating case studies. And they're one-page case studies. And basically, what we do is when you finish a job in an area, we go ahead and get all the bullet points of the job, before and after pictures. We do a few other things, put this into a one-page case study, and then we attach it to a press release. And once that press release goes out, typically these case studies rank very, very well in your community. First page, a lot of times, almost right away, which may or may not get you some business from that. But essentially what you're going to be able to do with that press release is put links in it, which are going to go back to your website, your Google My Business profile, things like that. And that is going to help you in the rankings. And not only is it going to help you in the rankings, but when you stack case study after case study, let's say 2 a month, you do that for a year and you got 24 of them, you are what's called proof stacking. And when you proof stack and people see this, you see it on your website, they see it on your Facebook page, they find your case studies online. What it's going to do is it's going to make you the go-to person in your local community, and you're not going to be competing on price anymore. And a lot of times, those case studies will be found and will open up other markets to you that you might not currently be in. It's worked for painters, I've seen epoxy flooring guys, a whole bunch of other different types of businesses. But when you do that, you build the proof up, and again, you can put it on your website. It's amazing what it can do for a local business. Now, the leads now portion, there are different ways to get leads now, and they all cost money. And one of them is through Google pay-per-click, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. This, you pay per click. You can be up to the top page of Google. You have to outbid other people to get there. And once you're there, as long as you have a budget, you'll be on this page. But as soon as you use your clicks up, you're going to fall off the page for that day. And then if you have a budget again for tomorrow, you'll start to show back up for the search terms you want. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, this could be a very, very expensive mistake. And it's not pretty when it happens. If you forget to set a budget, you're not using negative keywords, it's just not going to end up being a good experience for you. So my recommendation would be, if you don't know what you're doing, find somebody who's good at it, have them do it for you, and this will be a great way to generate leads right away for your business. And it does cost per click, and it is a little bit more expensive, but you got to remember, these people have intent. They're searching for the solution to their problem that you offer. Now, also, there's something that's a little bit newer. It's called local service ads, which are up here. This isn't for every niche. Obviously, they have it in the fencing niche. And the difference between this and this is you pay per call, not per click. So if I click on this, he's not getting charged unless a phone call is placed or there is a text message through the messenger sent. And the messenger, I believe, is 50% less than what the call is. But they're live exclusive phone calls or messages sent directly to you. And those can do, I've heard wonderful, wonderful things about these for many different types of businesses. Another way you can get leads pretty much right away is through Home Advisor, Angie's List. I know you guys all know about them. They share their leads. They're not exclusive. They can get expensive. And a lot of you guys just hate it. And I don't blame you. But if you have to do it, it is a way to get in front of people that are looking to pay money to get the jobs done that you provide. Now, I'm going to kind of get into Facebook ads, which is a really, really good way. It's much less expensive, for example, than pay-per-click and the local service ads. Unlike Home Advisor and Angie's List, the leads are going to be exclusive to you. You're the one that actually is generating. You're the only one that gets them. The targeting that you can do on Facebook is pretty remarkable. You can get the jobs in the exact areas. You can target certain cities. If you want, you can go ahead and draw a radius of 20 miles or 15 miles right around where it is that your business is, so you don't have to send your crews too far away. Work in areas that make sense for you. You can also do some more detailed targeting, and some of the stuff we've seen that seems to work pretty well is targeting people that are married and people that are between 30 and 60 years old. Typically, there's a good chance they're going to have a little bit better chance to be able to afford your service, and also they may have kids in that particular age range that they want to build a fence around their yard to keep safe. Potentially, if they may have a dog as well or something they don't want to run out in the street, get hit by a car. But one of the drawbacks of Facebook ads is that it is not, they're not searching with intent. So they're just kind of scrolling through their feed, but it's an amazing form of interruption marketing. And basically when I say interruption marketing, they're not looking for it and they see a killer video or they see a really nice before and after picture. They see a really great deal on it. It's going to get them to stop the search. And one of the things that one of my mentors told me that is just kind of brilliant, and this is exactly what it does psychologically for the person that sees it in a lot of cases, is that it creates a problem, but it also immediately offers the solution to the problem. So maybe they got a banged up, dingy, whatever the word is, fence, that dingy old fence that they hate, and it shows it, and then they see, wow, look at the great job these guys did. Look at the difference in the before and after, and look at what they offer as far as a payment per month. This is something we can afford to get done, and obviously that's through helping them finance it. And if you're not doing that, that is going to open the doors. If you do offer that, where you're going to get your money up front, you're going to open the doors for a lot more people to afford your service, and then the company that gives you the money up front will be responsible for collecting from the client, and then that client is obviously going to end up paying more for it because of the way they did the deal, but they get what they want right away, and then that company is going to go ahead and get the money on the back end with some interest and stuff included on that. So if you're not doing that, that's something that is a really, really good thing to do. Now, there's a couple different ways when somebody sees the ad. There's going to be a learn more button or something like that where they can click on it. And sometimes it's called a lead generation form, and it just collects their name, email, phone number, and then sends them to a thank you page. And then typically people have that go into a spreadsheet, and then they'll go ahead and send that off to the fencing company to do that. What we like to do is we like to send them to a landing page rather than doing that, because ultimately landing page, the goal is to collect the same thing. It's one decision marketing. All we're doing is asking for that several different times on that page while stacking proof. We can put case studies on there. We can put before and after photos on there. We can put testimonials from your customers. But, video, if you have all sorts of different things that just show how awesome your company is, and that basically they'd be crazy not to put their name, telephone, and email in there so you can get in touch with them. Once that's done, a lot of companies stop there. They get you the information, say, good luck to you. It's your job to follow up with them. Well, we think that's a big problem. We think that instead of doing that, there should be an automation process in place, because as soon as somebody actually enters that information, they're kind of in the heat of the moment. There's some momentum going, and if you don't get back to them right away, especially on Facebook, they may or may not remember doing it a day or two later. But if you can get back to them within a minute, or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's something that will continue to keep the ball rolling. However, if you don't have automation in place, that's not going to typically happen. Just to kind of give you an idea, even when it's a live phone call, 62% of those calls get missed by local businesses, which is really, really unfortunate. So basically the two problems that the automation solves is speed to lead, which is obviously get back to them as quick as possible. And that can be done with a text message, an email, and a voice drop. Within the first 15 minutes, all three of those things get sent out. And then ultimately, eventually they're going to respond to it. That's the goal. And then the automation at that point in time is going to try to book them into an appointment with you. And some contractors like to have a Zoom call or a phone call scheduled so they can qualify or disqualify the potential client based on what the scope of the job is, things like that. However, if they can basically book an appointment where they're going to show up at their home. And after that's done, then what happens is once the appointment's booked, we have a automation that will send out 24 hours before, hey, you have an appointment with us tomorrow at this time. Then there'll be another automation that'll come out, an hour before the appointment, and then 15 minutes before to remind them, so that your show rate goes way up, and therefore your opportunities to close and get the stuff you need to get done goes up, and you're going to make more money, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So with that said, it's generate the lead, stack a bunch of proof, get their name, email, and phone number, then let the automation take over, book appointment. Then what you got to do is basically show up for the phone call or at the appointment at their home to go out and see what's going on, give them the estimate, hopefully close the deal, get your crews out there, and make some nice money with these Facebook ads. Now, the last way that you can get business right away, and this is only going to apply to companies that have been doing marketing already, generating leads, and have kept a nice database of their leads. Some people have 500, some people have 1,000, some people have 2,500. Some people might have a hell of a lot more than that. But what we will typically do with that is, with the automation, we will go ahead and ask that you give us the name, phone number, email of that particular database. And we will go ahead and I think it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at a certain time, we will go ahead and send out one of the offers that we're using on Facebook that works really, really well to that dead lead list, that cemetery of dead leads that you have in your database. And a lot of times people may not have gotten that fence put up. Life may have happened. Maybe, who knows what could happen. But if you put the offer that people respond to on Facebook in front of them, in a text message, an email, a voice drop, there's a good chance they're going to respond. And typically 2 to 10% of the people will actually respond to the message. And a good percentage of those, once they respond, if they like the offer, will book an appointment with you. So ultimately you're getting all those dead leads, we're re-engaging them for you, booking appointments for you. So you don't even have to spend any money on ads. We're going to help you get that out of there. And that's something that we can do for you, every 30 days, every 60 days, whatever it may be. But it's a hell of a way to start out a relationship if you have that, to get those to us. Let us put those in the automation, see what happens. And if you can get, you might be able to get, tens of thousands of dollars out of that database just sitting there that you didn't even know you had. So hopefully that makes sense. If you like what you heard, go ahead and click on that link below this video, fill out the information, and we will be in touch. Look forward to hearing from you, and have a nice day.